Hi, so Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary, and I hope you're very well. Obviously, it could be a fairly quiet week this week, what with it being Good Friday on Friday. Lots more people will be off this week and going away. And what I'm seeing already as of this morning's trading is that the pace of the markets has slowed down. So we may get a bit of a slow week or so here with the holidays. But anyway, let's have a look at the markets. Before I do that, I just wanted to bring up our site again. And if you come on to Easy Trader, then obviously got all our stuff on our site, but one thing I wanted to mention was ATX. So for those of you who are trading spread betting, then we do recommend ATX Capital, and what we're doing is we've got some stuff coming up with them for both new accounts and for existing accounts. So if you're thinking of looking at a new spread better or going back to someone, or if you've been with ATX in the past and you want to go back to them, then it's well worth you doing it through our link, because that will link you to us. And the benefit to that to you is that you come under our umbrella, which means you get added protection, so to speak, by trading through ETX. In that, if there are any trade issues and stuff like that, we can act on your behalf and things like that as well. So it's well worth doing that. But also with the stuff that's coming up, then you may well want to be under Easy Trader's banner, so to speak, because it does mean that you'll qualify for things, or you have the opportunity to qualify for things. So if you're looking at a spread better at the moment, then and ATX, the reason we recommend them is because we like them anyway, and we have done for years. So well worthwhile getting an account opened up with them, because we've got some stuff coming up in the very near future. Right, let's have a look at these markets then, shall we? Because they did throw me a little bit last week. The dollar yen had been going up, came up to the top end of this trend channel, and then it got rejected all the way back down to the bottom end. I was expecting a pullback halfway, and it's come all the way down to the lower end. And obviously it's just been probing the lower end of this trend channel. So what's actually confused me is that it did come down this far. I just started to build a picture for what I was looking for in these markets, and that was for a little bit more pullback and then a bit more upside on the dollar yen, and then and some other movements in the likes of the euro dollar as well, and the pound. So at the moment it's coming to these down to this lower trend line, and so we'll look to see if it can close inside the bands today, and if it does do that, then it might have a couple more days of upside at least, and then we'll just have to see from there. But at the moment it's come down, it's looking weak, so we have to go with that until proven otherwise. But at the moment it's also still trading within this trend channel, so we have to wait and see if that's going to break or what it's actually going to do. But for now it just looks like it might want to just come up. It's found some support, it's sort of probed and sat here. It just looks like it might want to just come up for a couple of days back within this channel, so we'll keep our eye on that one. So that's what I'm looking for on the dollar yen anyway. A little bit of strength certainly in the coming days. The longer term picture I'm really just unsure of at the moment, until proven otherwise. I think if we get back above the daily 50, then I think that this dollar yen may well want to go back up for the highs. But all the time it's trading below the daily 50, then we have to be wary that it may ultimately want to then, any bounces may just then roll over. So we'll keep our eye on that one, but a little bit it's trading within this channel, which is fine. A little bit uncertain as to the larger longer time frame view of over a week plus, until we get some confirmations there. The euro dollar obviously had that great run last week. So just over a week ago I was looking for some upside to come up and test the daily 21, and then obviously it blasted way above that and everything started to curve around. So and it's just pulled back overnight since posting like a spinning top on Friday. And so what are we looking for here on the euro dollar? Again, a little bit confused. I was confused at how strong it was last week. It's had a nice pullback here. Overall, I must admit, I'd switched to being overall bearish, and I was looking for that bounce, which I think I talked about. Was it last Monday's update? Looking for that bounce, but then it did go higher than I thought it would. But ultimately I was looking for this market to roll over, so I need to reassess really what I'm looking for. But at the moment we have to say, well, price is back above the 8 and 21. We're back above the daily 50, so it does look it's more likely to be bullish until proven otherwise. So we shall see about that one as well. But again, if we get price back below the daily 50, then I'll get a much more bearish on that one. But I'm a little bit confused with the euro dollar, I must admit, at the moment on the overall analysis. And if you're confused, there's nothing wrong with that. You just don't trade, or you stand back, or you trade with a smaller amounts. You can't always get your analysis right all of the time, and so it's exceeded my analysis a little bit. So I'm in this reassessment stage, and I think this is where traders can often get it wrong, because they feel they've got to be trading all of the time on whatever markets it might be. Whereas I look at this and say, well, if I'm a little bit confused, then I'll just sort of rein it back in a little bit, and we'll see what happens with that euro dollar. So at the moment, I'm a little bit unsure as to whether it is indeed going to break higher and go up to that 140, or if it's actually going to roll over. So we'll see about that one. And it's a similar sort of situation with the pound as well. The pound backed away a little bit last week after it having this great run up to make the double top, and so now it's a case of, well, where's it going to go to from here? I was a little bit unsure because of the weekly time frame. To me, using my momentum charts, was starting to look a little bit bearish. And I'm not talking about bearish for massive huge moves down, but for a retracement on the weekly charts, and then ultimately to then come back up to that 170 level maybe a bit later in the year. But maybe we're going to go straight up for it now, so we'll have to see. So certainly if we get another close back up here above 168, that would really lend itself now to that break up towards 170. So that's that. Let's actually have a look at the S&P, because obviously we've got some decent price action here in the stock market indices, and I do think that after putting we put a key reversal day in just over a week ago, we've seen some nice price movement down off of that, and I think this is probably it now for the S&P. I think it looks like the tone of the market has changed for now, at least anyway. So I think all rallies are then still shortable on this one for the time being. I think there's probably some more downside to come. When you look at the weekly charts, it's still nothing really. I think there's plenty of scope for some half decent downside movements on the stock market indices there. So, and if we can have a look at some of the others, the Dow's the same, and if we go and find the Nasdaq, we can see the Nasdaq's been leading this lower. So so at the moment, I certainly think that we've got some decent downside there, but there will be retracements though, so we've got to look for the retracements, but certainly some decent downside movement there. Right, I shall leave that with you for now, and I'll be back in touch, well, probably not on Friday because it's Good Friday, so I might do something on Thursday if I get the chance. If not, back next week.